Emily Hansen, a junior.
Caitlin Evans, senior.
JC Hipwell, senior.
Carson Morrison, junior.
Brooklyn Ayers, junior.
And I'm Coach Sarah Kaminsky.
Yeah. Coach, season outlook. Obviously, you guys had a successful year last year. How do you kind of build off of that, or what's the team looking like so far? They're all here.
Yep. Well, some of us, yeah. We just talked about this, I guess, our first day on Monday about how we did have such an amazing season last year. And, it was a season that was built one game at a time, one practice at a time, and grew a whole ton from the start of the season to the end. And, probably ended our season with one of the most hard-fought games probably that I've seen the Lady Bulldogs play. But, we just talked about that wasn't the end. That was the beginning of what we want to do this season. And we're just going to keep building. One of our mottos is better today than yesterday. And so we talk a whole lot about doing something better today. What are you going to grow with today as a team and as an individual? So, real hardworking group of girls, really wide range of grades that we have out there. So they're a pretty dynamic group, and I'm excited to see what they do this season.
Girls, I guess whoever wants to take it. How do you kind of build off of that success and take that into that you had last year and take it into this year? What did maybe you learned from last year and that experience, and what can you kind of carry over to this year?
I would definitely say the aggressiveness we had. We were all very aggressive, definitely towards the end of the season. Beginning of the season, we were all pretty shy, but then once we started to build ourselves together, that's when we really started to play our best soccer. And if just taking that from last year and moving it to this year is really going to help us, is what I think will help.
Anyone else want to take that?
I think the experience, just ending our year at state with one of the most toughest games that we played all season. I think just the experience that we all have will definitely help us this season.
And I think this year, like moving forward from last year, just taking it like each day by day, but also taking the knowledge that we had and we gained from last year and just putting it into how we are this year.
Cool. Is team goals obviously would be to repeat the success and add on to it,
Yep.
right? How do you do that?
I think we just have to stay strong and just compete every day.
Anybody else want to add to that? Go for
I
it.
think we just, continue what we did last year, just repeat it, come together as a team.
Cool.
Yeah.
Go
The the environment at our practices, not because of me, but because of the girls around me, very competitive, and they're willing to put in the work and they're willing to put in the time. And it's fun to watch them each day, what they do and what they're willing to give.
Not just, I'm saying school-wide, right, in this question. It's had some pretty good success recently. Is there something in the water? What's going on?
I hope.
No. Like, why do you think that is? What's the credit to that?
I think it's just the effort everybody's putting in off and on the field or court. Like, we're putting extra time in the weight room, trying harder at practices.
Is it a community thing?
I just think people are more hardworking. Like, definitely the high school students that we have now, you'll find few people that are really invested in their sport and willing to work harder than anybody else is. And I feel like the last couple of years we have had a lot more of those athletes at North High.
I think we're a lot more dedicated than we've been.
The effort
Yep.
is there.
And, the further west you get, I guess you could say we have a lot of multi-sport athletes.
Right.
And I think,
We have to.
the success from one group, one season maybe builds to the next season. And with that comes good and bad. You get more injuries towards the spring with, a lot of multi-sport athletes. But I just think kind of, we're a Class A school, but a small community. And I think everybody's kind of in it together and supports one another. And it's kind of fun to watch the atmosphere there.
Each one individually, and it might be the same answer. This is a fun one. Favorite road trip, because you guys take more road trips than anybody else. So, well, outside of west of you, but favorite kind of road trip or place to go? Might be like because we get this food or something. Go ahead.
My favorite road trip was probably on our way back from Columbus. We won in a shootout with like 7 shooters, and it was dark, and we had a speaker that had lights, and we were all just on the bus singing for a solid 2.5 hours on the way back.
And then we acapella.
Yeah, because the speaker died.
My favorite trip was coming back from Scott because no one expected us to defeat a Class B champion. So we had something to prove back. And when we were coming back, we are just also happy and excited that we did something that no one thought we could do.
I was also going to say, Scott, we fought so hard that game and just tried our hardest. And then it was just fun to be with everyone and experience that.
I'm gonna be cliche and say all of them, just because we're on the road a lot, and our team, we know how to have fun. We know how to make any
situation a good one.
I definitely agree with JC because we never have a dull moment. Something's always funny. Probably every road trip.
And those trips, I mean, just lends itself to camaraderie, right?
Yeah.
So, like, how important is that team bonding, building the time on the road, and the miles you guys put in?
I can speak on this one. I think it's huge. You know, we talk so often about the fact, and I think especially in girls sports, you know, the closer you are to the people that you're competing with, the more trust you have in them, the more respect you have for them, and you just want to work harder for them. And, you know, I think that's something that comes, we do put a lot of miles on our road trips, but, you know, it's something that these kids are used to. They travel well. You know, they're prepared when we get to games. So it creates, you know, a unique environment that not a lot of schools have, but it's also, I think, very, very important in the relationship building part of sports.
Cool. All right. Anything else you guys want to share? Anything? Like individual goals, team goals, anything like that? No.
I think just to end this season where we ended it last year, maybe even go farther.
Yeah. Maybe finish it with a win.
Yeah.
All right. Thanks, guys.